When the watch has sensed sufficient brightness under an open sky, it automatically receives GPS signals from GPS satellites. This function enables the watch to automatically adjust the time precisely even while you're using the watch. Wow, everything's computer. The Seiko Astron watches are cool. They've always been cool, but not cool enough for most watch collectors, or not cool in the right ways, because watch collectors like their timepieces to be antiquated and inaccurate and overly delicate. But I'm a watch collector as far as I know, and I like the Astron watches, and yeah, I even owned one. I put my money where my mouth was, and I bought a GPS Astron in 2017. I loved wearing that thing. But I think this might be the best modern Astron yet. This is called the SSJ009 in most markets, but in Japan it's the SBXD009. Astron watches have always featured neat technology going all the way back to 1969. The Seiko Astron was the first quartz watch to the market. It debuted on the last Christmas of the 1960s. The original gold Astron listed for about $1,250 US, which in today's money is around $11,000. $11,000 for a quartz watch. Deal with it. Because the original Seiko Astron had a shocking accuracy of plus or minus 5 seconds per month. Even today, 5 seconds per day is pretty good for a traditional mechanical watch, but 5 seconds per month? That was sci-fi stuff. The Astron and mass-produced quartz watches that followed changed everything. For me, being born after the popularity of quartz watches, it's kinda hard for me to imagine a world where everyone's timepieces were just kind of running slow or fast, and everyone was late for their phrenology appointments or getting their Model T's tires revulcanized. Even if you're a hardcore mechanical watch devotee, you can't deny that quartz movements are amazing. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't, and if you do, then you're probably not watching this video. Seiko stopped using the Astron name for a while, and then in 2012, Seiko introduced the new generation of Astron watches, GPS watches. No, not that kind of GPS watch. As far as I know, there's never been an Astron GPS watch that could be used for navigation. Instead of that, the GPS is used for setting the time precisely and perfectly, which is what this watch do. The case and bracelet here are made of titanium, and what's on top of the titanium is a black hard coating that Seiko calls DiaShield. It's very scratch resistant. And the bezel is also very scratch resistant, even more so because the bezel is actually made of black ceramic. That's weird, but that's also kinda great. The watch also uses a sapphire crystal on the front. The case of the watch is 39mm across, 12.3mm thick, and 46mm long, with 21mm lugs. It has 200 meters of water resistance and does not have a screw-down crown. On the full bracelet, it weighs 99 grams, and sized for my 7-inch wrist, it weighs 91 grams. As for the price, the original list price was $2,200, but I know the owner of this watch bought it brand new for $900, and I mostly see them around for a little more than $1,000. The size and weight and design are just great on my 7-inch wrist. That's about 18 centimeters or 9 billionths the distance to one of the GPS satellites this watch gets a signal from. Size, weight, design, and one other thing helps this wear great. There is an on-the-fly adjustment system in the clasp, and it's surprisingly simple. There are buttons on the side of the clasp, and like you'd expect, they open the bracelet, but they also release the adjustment system. There are 3 lengths for a total of about 5mm of adjustment. It ain't much, but it's all I need even with my high sodium diet that I've been trying for the last 40 years. The length can ratchet tighter, so you don't even need to use the buttons to tighten it. The adjustment system is a little sticky. It could be smoother, a little more refined, and sometimes you end up opening the clasp when you just wanted to let out a few millimeters, but this thing is pretty good, and it might be the best system I've seen from Seiko, which is not a high bar, I admit. Seiko, you should put this on most of your Prospex bracelets. If you cared about us, you would do this. Since the launch of the Astron GPS watches, Astrons have been big and a bit much. Chronographs and calendars and dual time displays and busy bezels and dials and bracelets. As an Astron admirer, it's been kind of disheartening to see Seiko just overdo the designs of Astrons. And not just busy, but kinda huge. The first Astron GPS was 47mm across and 16.5mm thick. Over the years though, Seiko has slowly shrunk the Astron until finally we have this one, with only the time and date and a civilized 39mm case, and I assume a lot of this is because of the new 3x22 movement, which is smaller and thinner and still allows it to do the main Astron-y things. And the main Astron-y thing is the ability to get the exact time from GPS satellites. Right now there are anywhere between 24 and 32 Navstar satellites in medium Earth orbit. They're watching you, waiting to strike, maybe, I don't know. But they are operated by the US Department of Defense. And on those satellites are atomic clocks which are accurate to 1 second every 100,000 years, which I guess is pretty okay or whatever. And when this watch is exposed to direct sunlight and can get a signal, it receives a signal from one of those satellites. It also gets your location by measuring between 4 or more satellites at once, and based on the location, the watch basically sets itself. You can manually get the signal by holding down the top pusher for 3 seconds. The hands go to 12 o'clock while it's receiving the signal, or trying to receive the signal. For me, this works not just outside, but also in my windowsills. And when it does sync with those atomic clocks, it is accurate, very accurate. I believe the technical term is dead-on balls accurate. It's an industry term. And you can just adjust the time manually if, like me, you don't want to go outside or near windows. In the first position, you can adjust the hour hand in 1 hour increments. And in the second crown position, you can adjust the minutes hand in 15-minute increments. The watch also adjusts for daylight saving time and summertime automatically. It also automatically adjusts for each month and leap years, not just leap years, but leap seconds, which I did not know existed and are weird. So this Astron is a perpetual calendar and it's accurate to the second until the year 2100, which I'm sure you were concerned about. Now you can sleep soundly. And you never have to change a battery since this is photovoltaic. It's powered by light. In its power saving mode, the watch will hold a charge for 2 years, and without the power saving mode, it'll hold a charge for 6 months. The power save mode starts automatically when the watch hasn't been exposed to light for 72 hours, and then the seconds hand goes to the 15-minute marker to tell you that it's in that mode. And with all this coolness, I think there's still a couple things holding back Astron GPS watches from being big hits around the world, because I do like a lot here. First is the price. Even I who have paid thousands of dollars for a quartz watch, I have trouble with the $2,200 price tag. The tech is cool, the titanium and the ceramic are awesome, but something about this price still bothers me. I think the watch isn't finished to the level of a $2,200 watch, and it just doesn't kind of look like a $2,200 watch. But for $1,000, good, great, get it. And the second hang-up were the crazy designs. I know some people see bells and whistles as features, but this simple and smaller watch looks so much better to me than the visual carnival of most previous Astron watches. But that's been mostly addressed with this watch and a few other SSJ Astron watches. They're mostly tasteful. Now that they're smaller and thinner and simpler, maybe Seiko can refine the case designs and the hands, and it wouldn't hurt to add a GMT complication. But as far as I can see, this is the best Astron GPS watch yet, for me.